Let's get into the Roto World player news, and we'll continue with this game. Patriots-Steelers, of course, Thursday Night Football, which flew past the very low point total, Jay. It
cashed at halftime, right?
Yes, it was at halftime. It was cashed
As Al
in.
Michaels noted.
Yeah. He was all over it.
I mean, like Al Michaels, who is the king of like, oh, that's interesting to some,
Yes.
or
Yes.
you know, this is
Important
you know,
for some.
this is
For
yes,
people that care about those things.
yeah, exactly. Always very hinting. Now he's just like again,
He's all
he's just
in.
like the overcashes. Like, he just
Yeah, he's done. He's stopped tiptoeing around
No,
it.
he's just.
What he's talking about is like your friendly bookie or your unfriendly bookie. Like he was leaning right into it.
He acts like it's
last
still illegal,
Yeah.
which is and honestly the best part of it all. He's like, for the people that participate in those kinds of things, it's like Al. In America, it's legalized almost everywhere.
Literally, there was a DraftKings segment on the game like
right.
literally an hour ago.
Yeah, the company he works for participates in promotion of it.
Literally, like
So, anyways.
Anyway, we love Al. He is a legend, and the over did in fact cash in this game.
Yep.
We did not give out the over yesterday. I saw a lot of people give out the under just because they're like, oh, it's too bad offenses. But we talked about this before the show, and we didn't want to give out the under because we're just like, this feels like there could be a defensive touchdown or like a short field for a couple things.
Yeah.
I don't think we expected Zappe to play as well as he did, but the fact is, it felt way too low
I think
for a professional NFL game.
Yeah, and here's the main thing. A professional NFL game with no weather. There was perfect weather there. There's no winds, no rain or anything. I think the takeaway with totals going forward is that when you have two teams that are really good at stopping the run, it just leads to more scoring because it was very clear early on that neither of these teams could run the ball because the Patriots don't have a great rushing offense. Steelers' rushing defense is solid with Cam Hayward back. And on the other side, Patriots have the best rushing defense in the NFL. So both these guys are having to throw and it has led to scoring in yards.
Yeah, and I think when it comes down to it, a game where Trubisky drops back 34 times, Zappe almost drops back 30 when they're playing with the lead. I mean, it further proves your point, Jay, is that there was just simply going to be throwing in this. Now, to what degree? I mean, Matthew, you brought up who was actually playing wide receiver for the Patriots. That led to Hunter Henry catching 2 touchdowns. He only gets 3 targets, but 2 of them go for touchdowns.
2 of them go for touchdowns. It's his first multi-touchdown game since Week 15. Look, I don't want to make too much of this. I mean, guy had an 11% target share. Like, just a really good day at the office for Hunter Henry. You know, every once in a while, sometimes it works out. So I'm in a deep dynasty league, and I have 3 tight ends in this league, in this deep dynasty league. I have Dalton Schultz, who's questionable this week, Logan Thomas, who's on a bye, and then Hunter Henry. So I was just like, you know what? It's 12-man, like 25-man, super deep league, and I was just like, there's no one on the waiver wire. So I'm just like, you know what, F it. I'm just going to start Hunter Henry because who knows if Schultz is playing this week.
For 8 points.
You know, maybe I'll get a little something. And then, of course, 17.5 fantasy points. It's a half-point PPR. I'm certainly happy with Hunter Henry's performance, but he's now had 3 or fewer receptions in 8 of the past 9 games. He hasn't had a game with more than 40 receiving yards since week 4. So, you know, I don't want to put too much into this. Again, he only catches 3 balls in this, but 2 of them do go for touchdowns. Nice day at the office for Hunter Henry. I still think he's a touchdown-dependent tight end too, but certainly nice to see him getting in the end zone, especially on his birthday. It was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to Hunter Henry. And as long as we're talking about birthdays, I just want to take a moment here. It is my mom's birthday, Nancy Berry. It is her birthday.
Happy birthday, Nancy.
You know, just I won't give out an age. It's not appropriate, but I will just say my mom.
Older than you.
She's older than me. That is correct. She's older than me. She had me at a very young age. So my mom, the former mayor of College Station, currently the county commissioner of Brazos Valley there in Texas. So she's a public official. She's a servant to the public. And she's my mom. And I'm glad you were born, Mom, because otherwise I wouldn't have been. So happy birthday, Mama Berry.
Happy birthday, Mama Berry. Yes.
Here
Nancy.
on the Fantasy
Good
Football
stuff.
Happy Hour. I love you very much. I will call you later. All right.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry, one strange thing, he did go to the medical tent and then came straight back out and caught a touchdown. Really strange night for the medical tent, just quietly. TJ Watt gets kneed in the face, mouth, first play. Doesn't really seem to know what's going on. Comes back in with a visor in a night game. Do you reckon he maybe has a concussion?
Right.
And he's struggling with the lights and maybe he shouldn't be out there, but it's a big game for your playoff hopes? I thought that was all very, very strange.
Very odd, and I'm sure there'll be a big investigation, or probably not at all. Yeah. So that was On the only other two things on the Patriots side of the ball here. So I mean, I think we can sort of ignore Hunter Henry. Also, by the way, again, they were just down to so few. We expect Demario Douglas back next week when they play in 10 days. We expect Devontae Parker back. We'll see. But so I'm sort of writing it off. The one thing I do think, the two things that I do think you can take away from this game is, number one is Bailey Zappe looked competent. But, on the road on a short week, Bailey Zappe had some real good moments to me. And so definitely better first half than second half. But at the end of the day, he made some tough throws. He made some bad ones as well, his wide receiver. But I do think, to the extent you're counting on anyone in the Patriots offense, this was encouraging to see a competent performance from Bailey Zappe, who, as they noted, the first time a Patriots player has had 3 touchdown passes in the first half since Tom Brady.
Yeah, Connor, with Zappe, I thought, look, the good thing for fantasy is that he was high variance and that he tried a lot of throws, and he could have been picked off a couple more times, but fantasy-wise, at least he was moving the ball and throwing it downfield. But I thought the most impressive thing was the way that he was evading pressure in the pocket.
Right.
He stepped up a couple of times and he felt the rush, kind of weaved away from TJ Watt, and I thought overall it was pretty impressive.
He looked to trust his offensive line. I think that's something that Mac Jones started to lose a lot of faith in when this offense went down the tube. So I think that was a key. I think he got the ball out on time. I think when he didn't trust his wide receivers, which was a very limited group, he checked it down to Zeke.
Yeah.
And that turned to be maybe the difference in this game, honestly. We saw it in the open with the touchdown. So this is Zappe's offense going forward for New England, and they'll see what they have for the rest of the season.
I don't think he's viable even in a deep 2-quarterback league. Look at their upcoming schedule.
Well,
Chiefs,
have you seen ours?
I mean, right. Backup producer Pete's going to start Zach Wilson
That's
this
what I'm
week.
saying. I started Trubisky last night.
Right.
22 points.
There you go.
You take it.
There you go. It's ugly. However you get there. Yeah, I mean, but even in a truly desperate situation, I'm starting in our league because I have Hurts and Howell, but Howell's on a bye this week. I'm starting Joe Flacco. And I have Zappe. I literally have Zappe on our team in our league, and I benched Zappe because I think Flacco. I mean, I would have enjoyed the 21 points, but the fact is that they play the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Bills, the Jets are the next 4. That is not great for an offense. I thought this quote from Bailey Zappe, last thing on him, this is pretty good. They asked him, hey, were your friends, family in attendance here for your start, Primetime? And he said, quote, "Nobody. They all watched at home. I don't want to pay for all those tickets. I'm still on a rookie contract." There you go. Fair enough.
Day 3 pick.
Yeah, day 3 pick. You know what? I don't blame you, Bailey Zappe. They can buy their own tickets. If they loved you, like the son that they should, then yeah, buy your own tickets.
Right.
Mom and dad, love of God. There was one positive here, fantasy-wise, that I do think is a takeaway, and that's Ezekiel Elliott.
He looked incredible. And it's been done. I think you might have tweeted out that he had more fantasy points than any game Tony Pollard's had this season.
That was my friend Ryan McDowell, I think, tweeted that out, and I just retweeted it. But yes, that's correct.
He looked spry. The work in the passing game that we mentioned earlier was really key. Also, he was able to, he wasn't efficient on the ground, but he was able to, he broke a 12-yard run. He got 22 carries. They're going to lean on him clearly. But it's really the receiving work and the fact that he was able to not just make the catches, but also do something with them, which I think is really encouraging going forward. He just continues to look more athletic than he did last year.
You see it there on your screen in the boxes, 7 receptions for 72 yards. He was a big part of the passing attack, and we talked about that on yesterday's show, how coming into the game, he'd had multiple receptions in 4 straight games. They're using him more in the passing game, and so, look, you don't love that schedule. Again, Chiefs, Broncos, Bills, Jets, but the usage is so massive, 29, and I just wonder, we'll see. They have 10 days until their next game. Maybe Ramondre Stevenson is back by then, but maybe he isn't. And by the way, if you're the Patriots and you're sitting there at 3-10, Zeke's on a 1-year contract. You're not going anywhere. Ramondre's still a young piece, still a big part of your franchise's future. Do you kind of just say, we really don't need to be getting more touches on your body, in a lost season where we're not doing anything.
Right.
Just, I'm just serious. If you're Belichick, if you're the Patriots organization, what reason is there to put Ramondre Stevenson back out there this year?
Yeah, recoiled a little when you said touches on your body, but that's fine, and I agree with the point. And look, Zeke has looked just as good as Ramondre this season.
Well, it gets to hits.
Yes,
I'm
right.
not talking about the touches on the body that,
yes.
you and I shared that
On
one
the
night in
motorboat.
Buffalo.
Yes,
Right.
on the ocean, on the
Right.
water.
Right, exactly. I'm talking about football touches.
Yeah, football touches. No, I get you. Yeah, I went in the wrong direction briefly, but I know I understand now. Yeah, we'll see with Ramondre. And look, I think Zeke has shown enough that he's kind of look, it's not going to be an amazing value if Ramondre is playing, but I think as attrition takes its toll and you've probably got some guys injured, that he can be a flex even if Ramondre's out there.
Yeah, 100% of the running back touches. I mean, he played 91% of the snaps, and I can be honest with you, I don't think I saw the 9% he didn't. It felt like he was out there on every single play. I mean, I saw Ty Montgomery like once or twice, but
who's barely a running back at this stage.
I mean, right? So, I mean, they just, and that's the other thing about Zeke is like he almost never gets hurt.
Yep.
He is.
And if he does, he plays through it.
He does. I mean, he's one of the toughest guys in the NFL. So, good day at the office for Ezekiel Elliott. Anytime touchdown cash, the over on 15.5 rushing attempts cashed as well. So, I agree with you. I think locked in actually RB2 based on the usage moving forward.
Yep. Just quickly on Juju, who went 4 for 90. Though Juju, his line was, I believe it was 27.5 receiving yards. He cleared that on the third play of the game, which was a 37-yarder. Still not really trusting Juju to provide value, but if we're in a similar situation where they're all out again, then he probably is viable just because he's the only wide receiver on the team. I bet on Tyquan Thornton over 16.5 receiving yards. One of the weirdest bets I've ever placed. And he got there on a 3-yard reception at the end to get to 17, so he went over by 1. But he's not really a weapon in this offense, and neither is Jalen Reagor.
I just like, by the way, think about the Ezekiel Elliott, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hunter Henry. It's like it's the 2019 fantasy football season.
Right, all these names that are still out there.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.